inside us and truth is all around us. We might find some truth.
Unable to face the truth. Alright, what's the truth? The hard truth.
Throughout my life, I've wondered about truth.
I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
Hard truths cut both ways. I saw a vision in the flames. I saw it. I never believed, but when you see the truth, when it's right there, in front of you.
Your side of the story, my side of the story, and the side of the truth.
It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth. The undisputed truth.
And welcome back to a new video, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're having a pleasant day. So we are going to watch a video of a druid in Ireland, and I will link the video in the description. And on this video it's highly interesting for you to witness this. So we're gonna play it right now. So enjoy this show.
Ben's story could be the final chapter in a long and fascinating history. With Ben McBrady, a tradition which has existed for 3,000 years may disappear.
The order of which I may be the last member, by tradition, came into existence after the last great cataclysm or catastrophe which affected the world. Now, with these great and terrible impacts on the earth by great electrical storms being caught up in the tails of meteors or showers of meteorites, civilization as we know it was totally destroyed. All knowledge came within the ambit of the order, but they were particularly concerned with astronomy because they had experienced so many very significant calamities, and it was thought that a full knowledge of astronomy would enable them to predict conditions when these calamities were likely to take place and take some kind of action to protect themselves. If you look at the great megalithic complexes in Ireland, you'll see that what are described as passage graves are really bomb shelters of a very primitive kind. They are well above any tidal wave level, and they also afford protection from meteoric showers. these shelters from aerial bombardment are very common, and they're well known. But what are not so well known, well, they are to archaeologists, but everywhere in the country you get souterrains, which are underground stone chambers. The archaeologists say, without any evidence, that they were stores for grain, mainly. But no grain remains have been found in any of the souterrains of significance which would indicate that that was their primary function. They also served as shelters. They would shelter from outside conditions, and most of them would be well above sea level too, but not as high as the great megalithic ones. It would seem that the very complex ones, the very big ones, such as we get at Carrowkeel and Carrowmore in Sligo, were special ones, like Hitler's bunker, very well preserved, but they would be for special people, presumably for the telepaths. Every great civilization has a record of a period of a golden age when there was no war, no dispute, no lying. And this was attributed to the fact that language had not been discovered, and the telepathic function was the principal means of communication. That language had an age when there was no war. Civilization has a record of a period of a golden age when there was no war, no dispute, no lying.
Does it sound like anarchy to you? Well, I want to cut the video for a moment and show this amazing stuff. So we have this map, this chronological stuff. Tells us Solomon was in the bloodline of Jesus. A road, oh, that's funny. And we also see that 300 years, this one is 200 years, 86. This one is 300 years, 22. Of course, I give the link in the description below. Don't worry about that. It's all we do here. I will share it. And yeah, that's why I wanted to share with you guys. That's really interesting. And we're not gonna spend too much time here trying to decode what this fascinating stuff said, because it's a lot. You can do it by yourself. And they say it seems to be linked with the resets. And the one of the Druid is talking about the period of anarchy might be linked to that. What do you think? Comment in the description below. And could this have been like the destruction of, I mean, the last days of Phoenicia and those celts, Phoenician celts, if you watch my previous videos. And so I want to slide into those pictures.
Dash it.
And we can zoom to see it's not only very positive. Okay, maybe not this one. Okay, some guy have his They just step on somebody. And it seemed not like a happy moment. And you see the old creatures of the old world. I give also this link in the description below. I think it was good to show you this. It seems like dark days, you see. Pretty dark stuff.
And this was attributed to the fact that language had not been discovered, and the telepathic function was the principal means of communication. Now, in relation to the order, those of the few isolated settlements which survived on the European coastline discovered that some retained the telepathic power, but most of them, because of the terrible traumas and trials they had undergone, had lost it. These isolated groups then began to migrate east, and in so doing they had to, in their isolation, develop languages as a means of communication. It does explain why disparate groups scattered all over the earth today have languages with no connection, languages which arose spontaneously. But over and above this,
for example, the Magyar language, the Maya, the South American people, were killed because the Pope heard them speaking Magyar, which is a Hungarian language. And it was a proof of them not being such savages. And also the Aboriginals in Australia talk Magyar. So you see,
this psychics in every community retained a telepathic capacity.
but really we can be sure that 5 minutes is saying it.
Preserved as very well preserved, but they would be Carrowmore in Sligo, were special ones like Hitler's bunker, very well preserved, but they would be for.
Okay, but anyway, I think it's the beginning, but you see talk about plasma electric event, which is linked to plasma, and meteor, which is also linked to plasma, and the resets and the petrification. What is petrification, you can ask me? Well, my friends, it's wood, stone sometimes is wood, so the Phoenician could cut. In the Hellenistic videos I share these days, they could cut through the blocks, but originally it's wood. And that's a good example of basalt. If you watch the mountain, this is in Tibet. I have a friend, she's in Himalaya. This is in India, in New Delhi. I think now close to New Delhi, I forgot the place, but whatever. Oh, Dehradun, thanks I got this image. Clean a river coming from Himalaya before being polluted in India, I presume. And yeah, this is a huge tree stump. If you wonder what this petrification does on a cataclysmic scale, this is ancient trees, my friends. And yeah, we have many stuff like this, like ancient tree stump. Guys, it never ends. The road, this road. So that was a short video, guys, really to show you what I have on the celts and Phoenician, true history alternative, of course, since there is a lot of lies. You see, one more stuff before I leave. This is the ancient Jews of Scotland and Ireland, and the bloodline is corrupted since the Romans. And you can see with me in this article that Trump is in fact more Jewish than Netanyahu. It's not this part that interests me the most. It starts here. So Teya Tefi, Britannia, featured with the Lion of Judah, because they were lions in ancient days. If you don't know, I can show you this. I'm making a research on Plutarch. It will be my next video, and I also sometimes have fun and make some memes. And yeah, I saying that. Okay, so you have to understand that probably years, so we can speculate on how much, but the new chronology would say that there is no middle age, that Jesus will be 1,000 years old, and his brother will be King Arthur, King James. And the weather was warmer indeed. The Phoenicians, the lions were roaming in the Holy Land of Scotland and Ireland, the old island biblical land, Hyperborean Celt Jews. I'm making soon a video on Hyperborean origins. To me, it's a whole continent that was still called Hyperborea, that was ancient biblical land, but was dispatched. That's what you see in Iceland. I have theory on it. Okay, guys. It's always like this. More long video, sorry about it. There you can see that Scythia, which is, so it was close to modern the UK and Ireland and Scotland, which is here, ancient Scythia, I think, and this was Atlantis. And these parts and Hyperborea. So you can check on Google Earth and you see a lot is underneath. You see the mounds. And here another one. And I think just this is a clue for Hyperborea, this land. And after they migrated to this, so they called here Hyperborea as well. That's clue, Greenland. The old map. So yeah, guys, we're on this Phoenician quest these days, and I work with a couple people. This is some guy on Facebook called Spade. He shares good stuff, So I got a lot of harp in my city in Versailles, and they are linked to the Scottish, to the Celts, n'est-ce pas? This one is just amazing, right? And this is the harp I see in architecture these days, telling me they are Celt city, you know, they're everywhere. This is in Versailles. So this is the research I make. I hope you like this kind of video. And if you fancy to see my electric universe file I found in architecture, and we have some harps there, I think it's good to close the video like this. Don't you think? So the Black Sun. The Black Sun, my friend. Which is, by the way, worshipped by religion these days. Unknowingly. The harp, my friends. The harp in ancient. So it shows it's electric. The electric universe also. One amazing here. I was really happy to find this beautiful black sun. And for the people who don't know about that, so this is Tartary, yeah, but it's really after Scotland, so the biblical land of Scotland, Ireland. This is a good proof I got here. You can take screenshots. And yeah, we have plenty proof of what we say. There is also, of course, you need to know, so it's ancient Phoenicians, and also you need to acknowledge the great. So we have the Irish wisdom, two books that I share in the descriptions. So the Irish wisdom and also Cormin. Okay, that's the ones. So this one will have a lot of clue on I shared in my past video, so I'm not gonna do it again. But this one and this one, Irish in Scotland, and those two books contain very interesting stuff for you guys to learn more about what I'm saying these days. Yeah, we can finish on those Celtic being emotional and idealistic, not and coming from the Aryan. So the Aryan will need to be counted also in consideration in our research with this Madame Blavatsky root race, which is, I think, part truth, hidden alternate truth perhaps. So I do not know how to finish this video, probably with the collection of ancient tech I have. I don't want to take the one I just took from other video, it would be rude. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video and it will end soon.